because let them tell it. There's nothing he could say. There's nothing he could say. He told.
He's a rat.
He told.
He's a rat. Yeah.
They ain't part of the set that I was part of or nothing like that, Knowledge. They don't know if we had this, strategized or not.
None of these people listed on here can come out and never say that you took the stand to cooperate on none of their charges.
I'll give you my right foot if they do. You could cut it off yourself. I swear to God.
More bodies, more candles, more teddies. He lost the war cause he ain't have a sword ready, Welcome to Philly, you think about cheesesteaks? Riding my city, but they don't need brakes. Bodybuilding and gyms, no, you don't need weights. Well, you don't need a six-pack, you need eights. To leave a crime scene clean, no shell cases. Even though we come from God, niggas hell-raising.
The gang members, they're all in Atlanta. I live in Warner Brothers, I don't know these guys. You just say you're going to Atlanta this weekend. I go to there to perform battle rap. I don't try to hit Atlanta. You're not getting what he's trying to tell you? I mean, it's about the music, so I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that's what they have never been to the game. Okay, you believe in the deal to Atlanta. So when you go up to Atlanta, the more they're going to come see your show, or whenever it is, Saturday. They have never been to my show. Okay, I mean, you said it's about the music, so I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that's what they have never been graduated college. Associate's degree. My family though that likes to do music and take care of its family. That's what I do. I'm not out here in the streets with the gang members and telling them to associate with gang activity. I'm not doing that. I mean, even if they've been watching me or paying attention, I don't know.
Use the music shit. These that I got, you feel me, on legal documentation. I got legal documentation.
But to me, those are two
you feel me?
But see, that's
right.
It's the same.
That's why that's why they never used it.
Because that's why they brought you in there. But the names that were mentioned are not on here.
Right.
And they never brung them in there because they couldn't use none of that shit. Because I'm denying gang activity through the whole thing. Never say, yeah,
Even
man.
Though you can't because the other
that's why, bro. You didn't hear him. You heard the officer at the end.
Watch this.
Like he said, yeah. I'm telling him, like, I'm telling you the truth. That's what you told me to tell you the truth. That's what I got. You feel me? We music. We do music, bro. He said.
And the police.
He said you're not.
You're full of shit.
Yeah. I said you just think I know.
Because if I'm the cops. They're saying you're the guy,
bro.
You can't tell me you're not.
He said the truth sound. He said I said the truth sound crazy, don't it? He said nah, crazy is crazy.
SOS and the insane. I mean, the other ones I call these as far as the music ones, but
right. But you've gone further down that I don't know nothing about nothing than you even were
affiliation. I told you what I knew. You told me to tell you what I knew, sir.
Yeah, but you're not telling me everything that you know, and I know that.
You think I know?
Nah, I mean, you know something, because the thing is, you got weed plants on your arm. You know they're selling dope. It's not like you're completely outside of that world. You're like, I'm the clean one.
And they stay in Atlanta.
You don't think people banging in Warner Robins?
No.
Like banging all over the state?
Warner Robins,
And if they're banging in Atlanta and you're the communication point between the muscle and the street, you're not hearing nothing? I mean, you really want me to believe that?
Sorry.
This sounds crazy.
It may sound crazy to you.
Wouldn't it sound crazy to you? Wouldn't it sound crazy to you?
But I'm being honest with you. Sometimes the truth is crazy, but I'm being honest with you.
Sometimes the truth is crazy, but sometimes crazy is just crazy. 15-minute phone calls. Over my time in doing this, a lot happens in a 15-minute phone call.
Well, none of these, sir.
Do you really think that's what's going to happen when we go back and listen to all the phone calls? That's what you think is going to be on all the calls?
That's what I know is on the calls that I'm on. Nah, that's what I know is on all the calls that I'm on.
So you think?
All right. So that's what this is about.
15-minute phone calls. Over my time in doing this, a lot happens in a 15-minute phone call.
Well, none of these, sir.
Do you really think that's what's going to happen when we go back and listen to all the phone calls? That's what you think is going to be on all the calls?
That's what I know is on the calls that I'm on. No. That's what I know is on all the calls that I'm on.
So you think?
All right. So that's what this.
That's why he's saying that.
Now,
I ain't gonna lie.
if you make an argument about that, right? But hold on, I read closed paperwork, and I see clearly in closed paperwork that there's people telling on him. You want to know what the people are gonna say? Yeah, but we not talking about that. We talking about what we just saw over here in this 31-second.
That's why we got these clips.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why the clip. That's why the clips are sunk to knowledge. That's why I sunk them to knowledge.
Right.
No, I'm not finna show y'all and play my whole interview for fucking what he didn't. Whoever sent it didn't. I'm gonna show y'all why they didn't though. I'm gonna show y'all why they didn't. They couldn't play shit before or after I said what they posted.
Right.
And nobody in these 48 hours from when I answered back said nothing about when the investigator said, so who else is in the industry? They just bypassed that word. They just focus on leadership. No shit, I'm talking about who's running the label. Feel me? Like, this shit is crazy, bro. Like, oh, nah, you just shouldn't have said nothing. No, I understand that. But that's what you should have said then, if that's what it is. Just like bro said, that's my only problem with it. Right. He shouldn't have been talking, period. Nah, they ain't say that, though. They jumped straight out the window. He eating the cheese. He's a rat.
Shit, out of the 32 charges, you listed on 16 of them. Being named.
We live. We here. You already know hip hop is real. Clone was good.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Listen, man. You the talk of the culture right now, and not for a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things being said on your name. A lot of people who's already, saying that you're, guilty before you're innocent.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a live today about it. You know what I mean? Shout out to my bro.
That's very hypocritical of people too.
Yeah.
If they gonna talk about the system, you know what I'm saying? When they bring up minorities, it's oh man, it's supposed to be you're innocent until proven guilty. I really wasn't proven guilty, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't even getting judged by the system. This is a culture, you know what I'm saying? A culture that's supposed to be for minorities. And they see how bad we get done in the system, but they so thirsty for clicks and, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. They don't even want to damn sit back and wait till everything unfold. A 30-second clip of an interrogation video knowing that what this man went through. That just means you wasn't tuned in trying to help me when I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro, but I'm good. I was good when it dropped. I just couldn't believe the response it got. You know what I'm saying? Off of that little bit. I can understand the morals on some people. We can agree to disagree if you feel like I shouldn't have been talking. But that's what should have been said. Instead of automatically going to he's biting the cheese. Especially after I gave my explanation on why I said names in the first place. Right. You didn't know the situation. You didn't know nothing. You feel me? Didn't know nothing. But this 30-second clip that somebody done posted and I gave you the reason, I gave them on live the reason why they didn't post anything before it or anything after it. Oh, nah, you gotta post the full video. Why the f I gotta post it? Make him post it. He's the one that brung it to y'all. They couldn't do that because they knew it with everything that they was trying to portray on me. Now, why it's being portrayed on me, we still got to find that out.
So this footage comes out, they see you speaking with an officer. A lot of people saying as soon as, you sitting down, you talking to an officer and you naming names or whatever, you automatically cooperating. You know what I'm saying? So that's like how I'm seeing everybody, stance on that situation. Like, Clone shouldn't have been there cooperating in the first place. That's why it looked bad. You got to clear that up. Whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people live their life out of movies. You know what I'm saying? They seen that in movies. You know what I'm saying? They was told that that's how it's supposed to be, type shit. And I could dig that. Just like I stated previously, if that was your issue, I can agree with that. You feel me? That should have been stated. Nah, I just see he shouldn't have said nothing at all. Lawyer, like something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree with that. But still, you don't know the situation. You don't know what was going on, but I they should have gave you the full video if it was black and white. I ain't even got no black and white. People didn't even do their due diligence to see if the names that I named was on the case. Because they're not. They didn't get no future repercussions or nothing like that. They wasn't even on the case.
So the names you named.
Sounds like an alibi.
You seen the paperwork, right?
Yeah.
You seen the co-defendants, everybody on the case, right?
Yeah.
Was any other names that you heard me name on there?
Not at all.
You went through further paperwork. Did you see any of those names implicated in there?
No, not at all.
Bro, did you? You still reading? Have you seen them names yet?
Not one.
So, when I tell people the reason why I did it, and I've been a stand-up guy since the whole, I felt like that was enough. That's what I felt like. But then you had another group of people that, you know what I'm saying, oh nah, where the full video? So, I brung those. I went above and beyond because I could have did this at home. I could have called my cameraman for Wartown Battle, shout out Michael, you know what I'm saying? Fortune Studios. I could have called him and did this, edited everything, edited out all the names that I need to edit out. They wanted me to do this on live. They wanted me to do this on live. Yeah, show us everybody's names and government names and all that. For they entertainment. They so caught up in entertainment and clout, they don't even want to get to the bottom of it and not even realize that I went through some bullshit. I ain't even gonna say bullshit, you feel me? But to me, it was some bullshit.
Right.
You feel me? I can go sit through time for a crime, you feel me, that I know I'm putting in. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting drug out and I don't know what the fuck is going on. 4 or 5 in the morning. You feel me? So
just for people who, you know what I'm saying, who's gonna have questions, what was said in the video and that you know that they'll be able to see, where basically it, you know, exonerates you from like them thinking that you've done anything. You know
it was what I was saying from the jump, man. Like when I first went in there, I did not all gang activity.
Okay.
When they looked at my tattoos and, you know what I'm saying, basically, nah, you affiliated some kind of way. We do music. We do music. This is the record label, you know what I'm saying? Not documentation proving that. People want documentation now, 2025, and this was 2018. I'm not still paying that LLC. You feel me?
Right.
That's not still a label that I have currently. I wish I did would have kept it if I known this bullshit was gonna happen. I didn't think this bullshit was gonna happen. You feel me? Like, so I had documentation for that. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, those names that I named were on those as a secretary and an A&R. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I pulled up on y'all. Because like I said, I could have did this at home. But I went above and beyond. Drove up here 2.5 hours, plus 30 minutes with bad traffic. Just so I could pull up on 2 verified young gentlemen and let y'all read it yourself.
I think this is like a 2-part situation for me, right? I got the paperwork, we skimming through all that, and I think we'll get to that in a second. As far as the video and the names that people are, you know, in question about right now, why even, like, they're gonna say, why'd you even mention names to begin with? Like, yeah, they're not in the paperwork, but what was the purpose to even saying anything? Because like I told you off camera, you know me, like I just said, I would have loved to see that video and my just be like, I don't know nothing, lawyer.
Straight up.
We wouldn't even be here.
Straight up.
Because the paperwork I'm reading on the case and all that other shit, there's nothing to even talk about here.
You remember what I told
for me,
you, right?
It's the video.
You remember what I told you, right? I really can't say it on here, but you remember what I told you.
Yeah.
People don't know what was talked about beforehand. You know what I'm saying? People don't know, like, if that was a, you know what I'm saying, strategy, you know what I'm saying, sort of say, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? They don't know none of that. So it was a reason why I did it. And as you can see, the reason wasn't what's in that paperwork.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause if I really want to cooperate, you see right there, I could've. I ain't say nothing that's in there.
Okay.
Nothing.
what I'm reading as far as the case, it wouldn't even be considered cooperating. It would have just been admitting what people stated on you, technically.
You feel me? So it was like, it was a reason why I went that route, because I could prove that we was a music label, that we was doing music. They knew that I was doing music. They knew that I was doing battle rap. They knew that I was taking care of my fam. You feel me? They knew all this. And everything that I was saying in there is stuff that I could prove with paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, they already had their charges for people. So nothing that I said in that interview changed or brung any of those charges. You feel me? So, like, the interview was not used for nothing in the case, nor after the case. That's what I'm saying. None of it.
So when the police read you your rights and gave you the right to remain silent and ask for a lawyer, you waived it and you decided you just wanted to talk your way out of it in that moment.
I didn't get read till after I pissed him off after the interview.
How long was the interview?
30.
Okay.
I posted that. And I wasn't finna post the whole interview, but I gave you enough clips. How many clips I sent you?
Like 7?
Probably 7 or 8. You know
I think earlier they said it was on YouTube. Whoever found it initially found it off of YouTube, right? So it's initial content wherever battle facts.
I guarantee the whole video isn't on YouTube.
The whole video is not on YouTube.
I guarantee, because they would know what I'm finna show y'all now. They would know what I'm finna show. To answer your question,
yeah,
I denied all gang activity. The people that I named was part of the music side.
Okay.
People got caught up in the word leadership. He was talking about who else is in the industry as far as the leadership of the label. That's what he was asking. Okay. He even said in one of the clips, we are talking about the music. You know what I'm saying? He said that out of his mouth, not mine. Because that's what all I was talking about.
Right.
And you're gonna see with your own, and here, I don't know nothing about no criminal activity. I do music. I'm a family man. Take care of my kids.
Yeah, I heard all that.
You feel me? That's what you're gonna hear. And you're gonna hear why they couldn't play nothing before that bullshit clip or nothing after that bullshit clip, because the detective clearly got frustrated with me. Clearly. Once he seen he wasn't getting anything useful.
Hey, I'm just calling a spade a spade. I'm looking at some of the discovery stuff, and I don't see the interview used in none of it.
And mind you, that was in January, right?
Yeah.
January 19, that interview.
Okay.
I sat in Cobb County and didn't bond out until October.
Okay.
I got denied bond in March. And I want to segue right there, because it was a gentleman that was at that bond hearing that could have jumped ahead of this for me. You know what I'm saying? My first bond hearing had 4 witnesses get on the stand for me. Shout out to John. He saved my life damn near. And this one person sat there and watched all 4 of these people get on that witness stand and damn near get off that witness stand crying, because they tried to speak up for me. You feel me? But I had a hell of a DA on my ass. John was the last one to go. He saved my damn life. Damn near. I had to do the rest. But this one individual was in there and seen all that. He wasn't on the witness stand. Nah, he lied to y'all. He wasn't a fucking witness in my case. He was there for the bond hearing. And he heard everything that they had against me. And not once did he hear the word cooperation or the information that we got from Mr. Bascom or any of that. He didn't hear none of that. Did he get on the spaces and say that? Nah. He didn't get on there and say none of that. He got on there egging it on. I'm going to say that for my channel. I'm going to say that for my channel.
What?
But he know exactly who I'm talking about.
I can't.
They going to know exactly who I'm talking about. Now, we going to say that for me. He know who I'm talking about. But he was there. You know what I'm saying? Free clone campaign. I ain't sent no money on my books or nothing. But he could have jumped in front of this and been like, nah, that interview was from January and I was there in March. They ain't say nothing in a 2.5 hour bond hearing where they had to take a recess after John shut the whole courtroom down. Because this was all my argument that took 2 hours. He caused a recess after John. And then I had to come back after 1.5 hours to hear the DA side.
Right.
And this person ain't speak up once and say, hey, nah, man. They ain't say nothing about him cooperating in that bitch. They was trying to fry me.
That's a fact. Had me in that crime.
Petty?
We wasn't saying that.
Wow.
Know what I'm saying? And the space is waiting for me to speak for 2 hours. Up there till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
How my nigga rat, bitch.
And he was there the whole time, Knowledge. The whole time. Heard everything they had to say about me.
Right.
What he want to say? Oh, that's him. That's definitely him. He's giving up the names. I heard you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it some more, though.
Yeah, I had a little situation, too. And I remember, like, you know what I'm saying, where he said, I guess, talked about your outfit or some shit like that.
I mean,
and then we seen each other at that event, and I remember who came out here in Georgia. And
bro, that wasn't even like an issue.
Yeah, I know it wasn't.
You feel
like,
me? Because
really.
I just wanted to let people know, like, what they was damn trying to pick jokes at. And, like, I got it. You feel me? I didn't know where the outfit came from. You know what I'm saying? I don't shop from there, so thought it was a cool, dope outfit. I know I had some J's to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Gift.
It was a gift. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the issue with him.
Right.
The issue with him was we could never bring the South together fully because he was always doing some bullshit. Always. Always.
Right.
And one chance that I pushed all that aside for our mutual homie, I shouldn't even have to say his name. Not gonna drag him into this.
Right.
But I pushed that aside for our mutual homie.
Yeah.
Because I love him like a brother.
Shout out to Chef.
You know what I'm saying? I love him like a brother. And the one time that he had a chance to do some stand-up shit, nobody else was in that courtroom except for a handful of people. A few of my battle rap artists, I don't think you was there.
Okay.
John and Slick Will was there, but he was there. Petty was there. Whole time. Ain't say not one word to defend me. Knowing how them folks tried to fry me in that.
I'm saying, are y'all cool? Or was y'all cool at that point where you expected them to do something like that?
Joint merger with iBattle.
Not good up there.
That's where I, you know what I'm saying? That's where me and Trez had a combo and I pushed that aside, bro. Me and Trez had a combo.
Did he speak on it and talk crazy about, once the, video?
Oh yeah, he's giving up the names. He's definitely giving up the info. Yeah, he's giving up. That's him. That's him.
Wow. He said that?
Yeah, in the spaces.
I didn't hear that shit.
When I told people to send me everything, I love y'all. Let me pause right there and say I love y'all. I love everybody for not jumping out the window because I was snooping pages like a messy bitch. Anybody that I seen come across my motherfucking timeline, I'm going to their page for no fucking reason, just to see if they jump. I seen everything. Not everything, because I know people still gonna be scrolling me shit, especially when this come out. I know a lot of people were probably still on the fence, and a lot of people just going by what you should do, not say shit till all the facts come out.
Yeah.
Not saying they was on my side or nothing, but I still appreciate them for doing that.
Okay. So he got to see your whole case, everything like that, and he still said that. That's kind of crazy.
That's a fact. He said that.
So he's pushing the narrative that. So
And
yeah, that's
that
crazy.
means you
Okay.
was not a
I'm gonna get into that.
pussy.
But not here.
So how did
let's
you
move
get?
on to the-
How'd you get out of your situation?
With a $20,000 lawyer, and by doing a good damn job as a human being. One of my witnesses was a Fox Reporter News person that had just did a piece on me down there in Warner Robins after I did my PG for URL battling So Severe with Norbs. He was there. I have footage of that too. He was there. You know what I'm saying?
Just speaking
I
of character.
I had so much. Shout out to ARP for the great character witness statement. Shout out Organic for the great character witness statements. You know what I'm saying? That, along with me being out on bond from 2000 at the end of 2019 till I went to court and had to plead guilty for this. I had to plead guilty and then go argue at sentencing, meaning the judge could have sentenced me to whatever the fuck he felt like. But me and that $20,000 lawyer went in there with all this good shit that I had going against me. You know what I'm saying? Graduating college at a salutatorian. You know what I'm saying? Say I'm not smart enough to, you feel me? Say I'm not smart enough to damn talk for myself without incriminating. That's your opinion. Everybody ain't got a collegiate graduate as a salutatorian by the fuck they name, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's smart enough. But that, along with doing just excellent shit from taking care of my kids, being an everyday father.
How much time was you facing?
10 to 20.
Yeah.
10 to 20.
And what was the results? Like, what did the judge decide?
Time served for the year. Split. Probation mean I have to go back and face him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I ain't
And he had some stipulations for me. Which I'm not saying I'm in jeopardy of breaking them doing this, because they know damn well that I do battle rap and this is my job on the line.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have a problem at all with me defending my job.
Right.
So I'm still on stipulations with him.
Gotcha.
But I'm doing great. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing great.
So basically, you got a year served in probation. Is it a long?
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm just being on the fence here. I'm just, playing devil's advocate. Out of the charges, now that we're talking about that, there was 9. You got 8 Codies with you on here.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 32 counts, I see you, and this investigation these counts date back to 2006.
Mm-hmm.
You're listed on 16 of these 32 counts. And from what I'm reading, all of these counts are basically other people naming you either in the vicinity of an action or through conversations, naming you as somebody that is labeled as basically the leader or the head of whatever organization this is.
Just be clear, you said that's other people saying that.
No, yeah,
right?
that's from what I'm reading. Out of the 16 counts, it's not anything. It's not anything. Hold on. It's not anything that you were physically caught doing or being charged with. It was people stating that you were either giving the call or had to go through you. So what I'm saying is,
how did I get?
My question is going to be this. My bad, and I just got to keep it all the way funky.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like people were telling on you and naming you as the leader or the second in command to. I don't want to say this person's name. This stuff is on public record. Y'all can go get this yourself. But it's people naming you as basically the number 2 in this organization. So my question is, how the fuck do you only get the time that you got if they have you dead to rights on the paper?
Let me answer that.
And for the people that are going to...
Because unlike the culture, it was innocent until proven guilty, and they couldn't prove none of that shit. Except that I was number 2. All the other shit that was in there that they was really investigating and trying to figure out, I had nothing to do with it.
So people are going to say it's a RICO, right? And in a RICO is basically guilty by association. If we can pin you to part of this group, everybody's going to go, whether you participated in this specific act or not.
All right, I'm going to answer that for you.
If you participated in any activity
let me answer that for you.
Under this organization.
And that paperwork that you got right there that you haven't finished?
Yeah.
That's the real informant. And
I said somebody's name. I didn't want to say it because it's not.
I couldn't put his name out.
No, I'm not going to say it, but it wasn't.
That's
yours.
why, because they got their informant to tell them everything that they could verify. He said it, and they could verify that. So everything that they was trying to say about me was only half true. You feel me? I was who they said I was. I was number 2. You see, all in there. I'm the point of contact.
That's what it says.
But they couldn't stem me to none of the bullshit that they got caught doing.
No, I don't see your name on none of the bodies or none of that other shit that's in there.
So
All
when
those
the other
counts, your name is
informants,
not on there.
well, it's 2 of them in there.
That's why I said I
Feel
see
me?
the names in there.
So when the
I'm not
other
gonna name them
one
'cause they're not
went
yours.
in depth, because one of them just told them the basic, you know what I'm saying? And then the other one went in depth. He went in depth.
One of them was a female. One of them was. I just read it. One was a female. There was another one.
You
But
reading?
neither one-
You reading? I'm
like I
keep
said,
on
and
reading,
no, listen,
my brother. But
I'm not-
that's to answer your question. That's to answer your question, because he went in depth, and that judge knew. This man, yeah, he who he say
by
he
that
is.
paperwork, and from what people were telling, they damn near had you dead to rights.
Man, they would have caught me doing anything, or if I would have been sloppy posting anything on social media, as you can see that they didn't catch me doing.
No, it's not.
Right,
Again, from what I read, this is not you. There are no statements from you in here. These are all statements in other people's conversations, whether they were recorded phone calls, text messages, and Facebook.
I had a
where
fair
other
judge.
people were naming you as
I had a
whatever role
I had
you
a
were playing in
fair
those
judge
conversations.
who really. I had a fair judge who really went through this shit.
Judge.
That's why when I was mad when I went to bond hearing in March, but I didn't get an answer from him till June, and then it was denied. So we went again at the end of July, and I still didn't hear nothing until I bonded out, and I didn't even know I had bonded out because we were still waiting. We were on 24-hour lockdown when I got bonded out. I didn't know nothing. Somebody had to tell me what was going on because I thought the motherfucker was playing. He came and knocked on my door and said, "Hey, they told you your special conditions? The fuck is you talking about? We on 24-hour lockdown and you come knocking on my door about special conditions. We can't go to the store." Somebody had to tell me, "Hey, bro, remember what you was telling me? You ain't heard nothing about no bond, no yes or no? Special conditions mean they just sent your bond through." Man, 25 minutes later, that's exactly what the happened.
I mean,
sometimes, shit may look crazy. You still gotta wait. Still gotta wait.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that person's character doesn't, give off that type of feel. But, I understand you can't judge a book by its cover. But when I addressed something head on like I did, I didn't blink, I didn't run from it. This shit wasn't all out the window. People wasn't even focused on the detective saying, industry anymore once I pointed it out. Even though nobody came and said I was full of shit. Mm-hmm. Nobody even focused on that anymore.
Right.
Nobody even did their due diligence to, let me see who all was on the case, because you could have looked on the newspaper or anything and seen who all was on the case and seen, hold up. He said this was about the music and not one of them people that he named is on this case. He might be telling the truth.
None of these people listed on here can come out and never say that you took the stand to corroborate on none of their charges.
I'll give you my right foot if they do. You could cut it off yourself. I swear to God.
You're not listed on none. I'm not like, I don't do this paperwork shit, but I can read. I got a decent enough.
And that's why
American
I pulled up on
education.
y'all, bro. Like I said, I could have did this at the house. I could have called my cameraman.
I just don't like the video. I don't like the choppy shit in the video. But listen, you don't owe me shit to show me the whole video. I'm just gonna be honest, and video just don't look good. But if none of the names that were mentioned in that video are attached to this paperwork,
you even gonna hear me say that those names is who I contact for music in one of these clips that I saw. This is why they would never show the full interview, bro. Because they knew they would be full of shit. for trying to paint that picture on me, and I went through all that shit. $20,000 for a lawyer, another $5,000 for bond. And as you seen,
I don't see shit sealed. There's nothing redacted.
So,
Everything's
you know
right
what I'm
here,
saying?
black and white,
Like,
200 fucking pages of this shit.
I could have showed that with the table of contents like I showed you with the co-defendant. I could have went on there, blurted that out. I felt like that page and me telling and explaining that none of the names that I named was on that page would have been enough. Nah, I went above and beyond. I could have did this in Warner Robins. Try to put it on my page. Get my page some viewers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I went above and beyond because I wanted to pull up on some fine gentlemen in the culture that been in here for a while. One from the north, one from the west.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So these ain't even my southern buddies. You know what I'm saying? And I see it's not even my southern people that's hating on me. It's a lot of the up north mid-tier motherfuckers that's probably mad that my career is doing so well with
His name is not listed on.
I ain't got no John. John hasn't thrown a bullpen event. And I've traveled more than I did last year with my biggest battles. They can't stand that shit, bro. They can't stand that shit. That's why he can't dress. I wear my merch 80% of the motherfucking battles. My merch. Sometimes you might see me in Hollow's merch, Twerk merch, T-Top merch, Easy's merch. I support all my niggas. None of y'all don't talk me to death shit, by the way. But, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't kept it solid with everybody in this culture, and the first chance they get, these niggas jump out the window. This fucking blogger jumps out the window when he could have just been a stand-up nigga, hit me up like, hey, bro, you want to get in front of this? I ain't got no problem with you. Like he said, I ain't got no problem with you.
So that was who the first person to put it out?
Man, no, that's not the first person to put it out, but the first person to put it out don't even hold weight. I'm mad that we even I feel like he was a scapegoat, though. I feel like the real person that's hating on me sucked it to him so he could be the scapegoat because he got bullshit on him that he can't even address, really. That he hasn't addressed like I'm doing. But we gonna bypass that because he has this.
That's insane.
He has this. We ain't gonna worry about the bullshit that he's involved with, which is bullshit. So he doesn't even hold weight. But the person that's been pushing it, that holds weight, that really could've, hey, clone, or DM me like he did today when he found out I was coming to see you to address this shit. Cause he knew, oh nah, this motherfucker must got some shit. He must got some shit. He could have did that, knowledge. He could have did. Would that have been such a bad approach for him to DM me? Hey, bro, I just got some bullshit that came across my desk, bro. Instead of going the clout messy way, do you want to address it? You know what I'm saying? You could fly up here. You know what I'm saying? We could work it out. I could get the exclusive. You get the exclusive. You still get the clout.
Never took the stand. I'm still reading. I'm sorry.
Do you? That's what I brung it for, my brother.
I'm still reading.
That's what I brung it for. Don't you interrupt us. We ain't gonna interrupt you. You know what I'm saying? He could have hit me up. I flew out there to him because he ain't coming out the house. He don't come out the house. I could have went to him, sat down and went through all this, and he could have read everything and been like, damn. And he could have called that motherfucker out for, come on, bro. Is this you?
Right.
You ain't got no problem with him. Or is this another battle rapper that's mad at him? That thought they had some intel or something like that.
For clarification, you took the stand for your bond hearing?
Yes, sir.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
To speak on my behalf.
That's all I see right here.
Because my lawyer said, you know what? The only person we haven't heard from in these 2 bond hearings is you. We done heard from your boss, your employees, your Fox News reporters, your lifetime friends. We done heard from everybody. The DAs, we done heard from them, except for you. And she said, with these 2 years I've been with you, I feel like you intelligent enough, and I feel like you can look that judge in the eye and tell him the truth and he'll believe you. Because some people can't do that. They get nervous. The fuck you think I did? And she told me this 2 days before I had to tell him I was guilty and argue.
They didn't even have your name on the calendar.
So, yeah. I got up there. Hip-hop is, not hip-hop. 15 Minutes of Fame was in the building. Because he popped up and he said, bro, what you gonna do? He understood. He said, what you gonna tell the people if they take you in cuffs right now? You ain't gonna have no way of telling the people that, you know what I'm saying, what happened? So he cut his camera. And I did a little piece right there, waiting in the hallway for the judge to come in.
Right.
Letting everybody know, you know, we here. I'm finna go in here and argue, you know what I'm saying, with my judge. Hey, what the fuck am I doing all this for? If I got y'all, you know what I'm saying, if I'm cooperating.
Miss Gomez was your one.
Man, she's fire.
She's a bad bitch.
She's expensive as a
I'm
motherfucker.
reading this. She threw an audible that you didn't even see coming. I'm reading it. That she stated in the
Worth
court
every
that
fucking penny. But these niggas think I did that.
I'm not gonna lie. I just read what she just. Again, y'all can go do this. I'm not whack 100. I don't do paperwork. This ain't exposure. I'm just reading the documents that are presented to me by this man. And this shit.
She's expensive if you can afford it, but she's fucking great.
She pulled the fast.
She got
one,
middle
yeah.
Georgia and a lot of parts of Georgia locked down, but that was her first time in Cobb. She didn't have no buddies that she can go get any favors. We had to get that one out the mud. You know what I'm saying? And we got that one out the mud, and I brung it home because she put me up there. She read my piece. I'm the one that got myself off of. I was on social media restriction when I first got bond. I was on social media restriction. He said I could still battle, but it had to be without using social media. I hit my lawyer when COVID hit heavy. And I wasn't getting paid what I wanted to because I couldn't promote. So I hit her, was like, hey, COVID, the information is spreading faster on social media than I would get it on the news. I don't feel like I'm at the safest part, you know what I'm saying, being left behind on information. She said, she called my line. I texted her this. She called me and said, I wouldn't even thought of that. She said, I'm not finna change nothing that you just text me. I'm finna send this straight to the judge. And that's what she did, and I got lifted off restriction. And I was able to post on social media again. And this is around the time that Organic called me. He didn't call me. D-Rec called me. Nestle caught COVID. And I got entered into the King of the Dot tournament. Wasn't even supposed to be on that.
Yeah. And I think that's when me and you was rocking out here when I first came out here. And then you battled Codies and all of that. I think we was out here for like 3 days.
Rest is history, my brother.
Shit in a day.
Rest is history, my brother. And all this is what I was doing while I'm out on bond.
Yeah.
So we had all this. He's battling for $50,000. He's battling for $100,000 all across Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm flying everywhere.
Okay.
Working. But I'm also taking care of my kids. Full-time father. 6 of them. Full-time father. Straight A's. My oldest one, high school, hasn't brung a B home, ever. Dancing everywhere. You see me just asking everybody to vote for in the competition for Sierra.
Right.
Active father. It wasn't just battle rap. That's why I was pissed that he put that in the title, but I wasn't mad at it. Battle rap was the audible. It was used as therapy. Instead of us out here killing each other and doing the bullshit that they think we doing. We get in here and let it out. Bygones be bygones.
Right.
There was a lot of angles that she is worth it. And I got up there and talked like an educated, well-intelligent man that I am. Regardless of who I was. Or who they knew I was.
Right.
Had a fair judge, bro.
For those who may be naysayers or even dealing with your peers moving forward, right? How do you feel with just still any people that may linger, still, troll and shit like that? It's just battle. And then when you get in a battle, how you feel if your peers would to even use that as an angle or try to go, you know what I mean? I don't respect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't respect them. That just shows the laziness and the lack of ability for them to talk about some true shit. With all these facts I presented, anyone still on the fence or just, you know what I'm saying, wants to put that on my jacket, they are haters. Ain't no way around it.
They don't like me, for whatever reason. Maybe they bitch like me. You know what I'm saying?
And back
Maybe they
the
want to be,
fuck
maybe they want to be where I'm at career-wise. Because like I said, a lot of the people, I didn't see not one top tier. I'm lying. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them.
Right.
Besides him, I didn't see none of my real homies that's top tiers that you know what I'm saying, I chilled with and kicked it with outside of battle rap and shit like that. I ain't see not one of them jump out the window on me. You know what I'm saying? I did see some mid-tiers that never getting booked like me. They don't leave their home leagues. So I can understand the jealousy and envy of them bums. You know what I'm saying? Bums. That's what they are, they f***ing bums. And if they could still, I don't want their apologies. I don't want their apologies, so they might as well stay on the fence and look stupid like they've been looking. Because let them tell it, there's nothing he could say. There's nothing he could say. He told.
He's a rat.
He told.
He's a rat.
They ain't part of the set that I was part of or nothing like that, Knowledge. They don't know if we had this, strategized or not. They don't know nothing.
Again, I know how to read.
Stupid motherfuckers, bro. That's why I act, since I went above and beyond, you know what I'm saying? Since I went above and beyond to not just bring the paperwork that could have exonerated me and proved that I was telling the truth. Not just let y'all read through it and prove that I was telling the truth. Nah, I went above and beyond and still went and got the video. I still went and got the video that my sister and them had to go pick up because I was locked up. I got the paperwork, but the videos are on a thumb drive. And my sister was taking a little bit too long to find it. So I called my lawyer.
Can I ask a question real quick? The DA, some of the same shit he was using to deny your bond in this hearing, did they ever go to try to use this again, like for actual on the charges? You pleaded out before it could even get that far?
I mean, say
you didn't after your bond hearing, you never took this to trial. You just
Nah, we never. She said taking it to trial was stupid. She said she couldn't prove that I was not part of the gang.
No, I'm reading it. They were trying.
I mean, there was
not
no
like that. You had other people inadvertently corroborating, minus the two that were already labeled as the ones telling.
But the ones that told exonerated me too.
Yeah, they. From what I'm seeing, they ended up not. They never.
There's a separate.
The counts they never told on you. It was conversations that were used.
It's not in black and white, but on his interview, on Tunka's interview, his latest interview that they had, he told them, Uno ain't had shit to do with it. They hated on Uno. He told it like it was. They ain't like him. They ain't like him because the big fool liked him. The big fool liked him because he always had everything together. I wish I was on. He telling the cops this. I wish I was under him because they went and got on him.
Here and we ain't got to really do it for the camera.
Yeah. I know y'all
no,
cut
I'm
this.
saying the one that was the top on that's in the statement here. The one that they said brought the.
You talking about Big Fool?
Okay. You and him good.
Yeah. He's out now.
Both of them out.
Damn near all of them was out.
I don't see a
all of them has been out and has went back in. Between me and you.
But I'm just saying.
Ain't nobody got no extra time from this, bro. Like all of them have been out. Even the Big Fool.
Whatever
out
charges
now.
they took from this whole case, everybody been out and home now.
Yes.
And not one of them Codies is gonna ever publicly say you took the stand and did nothing on them.
Nah, bro. One of them tried to. This is how the video got in the culture.
That was gonna be my next question.
This is how the video got in the culture. One of them must have got their discovery. I'm telling you. One of them niggas don't like me because the Big Fool was giving me all the authority. You seen that for yourself. He's letting them know. Y'all can't tell Uno shit to do. Pacino is the trip. Pacino is the one.
That guy.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Stop getting
Elder?
names.
Yeah.
He won them.
He's one, you know what I'm saying? He's one over me. But nobody could tell me, you know what I'm saying? It was like, they was mad that I was always in another city, and I had more authority than them. You know what I'm saying? They felt like they should have been able to tell me what to do. It wasn't like that because I was always on point. I was always on point. You feel me? Like, from anything, from my people that was under me. And notice, it was so sloppy. All that shit that they got caught for.
Yeah, this is from 2006.
All that shit that they got caught for.
Yeah.
It was so sloppy. You don't see me and my homies in there, none. I had 13 people under me. None of mine got picked up. For a reason. I wasn't sloppy, bro.
And from the looks of the shit I'm reading, you got tied into this because other people were stating your name and a lot of shit that they were.
So that's how I got in there, bro. One of them that didn't like me, they said, you know what? They knew I battle rap. They knew how big I was. We gonna use this to f them up. They've been trying to infiltrate the culture. News got this. ARP got this. And John got this before.
Yep.
But them some real niggas. They came to me first.
Yep.
Stop me when I'm lying.
No,
Salute to you, ARP.
yeah, because
ARP got it right after Big K. He came to him right after Big K. Right after he dropped Big K. ARP hit my line. Like a real one. Hey, bro, what's up with this? Broke it down to him. Even ARP he wasn't letting me just tell him any old thing. You know, people can indirectly tell on themselves, you know what I'm saying? Or tell on other people. Like, maybe you didn't know. Bro, this ain't that. This ain't that. And I hit him with, he said, you know what? Next person was News after we did the 2-on-2. Next person was John. Then the next person was one of my close friends that I grew up with.
Stack that money in the floor, bunch of stale faces. Jail cases in the mountains with them pale faces. They already see us as one of the fell races. Walking this road for miles, it feel like snail paces. I'm talking since Deodore's ponies and gel Asics. 5A Cecil Street, writing raps in rail basement. Who would ever think that the boy meant to be pigeonholed? Would get a slam dunk off the last seconds off pick and roll. Now I park the Benz on the curb, shit look pigeon-toed. He worked for everything he got, I come to get what's owed.
Clout Scout, Clout Scout, Clout Scout.
Let me say this. You said Bad News name a few times. He's the last person I guess that was hit with these same accusations and things like that from what he was said. Jack Boy read the paper.